everyone. How are you guys? All right, I'm gonna grab a couple blocks here. I am like reaching way over. So let me side here and grab these, and then there we go. Put our blocks here, and we will get started. So I wanted to share with you guys a card, a different format, but we're going to kind of use the same pattern of a card that we made in our class today. So let me show you all the cards, and then I'll show you the one that we're going to do. So today we had an in-person class, and these are the cards that we made. So we did some fun folds and just some basic classes, but they really came out well. Everybody did a great job making them. This one's in plastic, and so I'm just not going to take it out. But we put a little Wink Stella on this one so it shimmers. And then this one, we did a little bird's nest, and then we used our Stampin' blends to color that in. And this one right here, which is from the Flight and Airy papers, we made that. And then we made this one too, with the little bees, which is super cool. I just love that. And so you can see the little wings or vellum. So we are going to use the pattern of one of these cards, only we are going to use the paper. We're going to use this paper, which is from, I know it's the Perennial postage. So I think it's Perennial is the other one, the other stamp set. And the stamp sets and dies are on back order. So, but we are going to use the paper. So we're going to make a card and use this particular cardstock. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to use Gorgeous Grape for our color for our card base, and that is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and it is scored at 4 1/4. Okay, then we're going to take a piece of basic white, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. So let's just do this one on camera here. 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then we are going to take a piece of our designer paper here, and we're going to cut it at 3.75. Oops. Here we go. We're going to cut it at 3.75. Let me just get that a little, there we go. By 5 inches. So basically a half inch off. I'm just checking to make sure that I have that. I think we're actually going to do 5 1/8, okay? And I'll tell you why. So we're going to do that one at 5 1/8. So 3 3/4 by 5 1/8. Now it's probably not critical that you do 5 1/8, but that's what we'll do. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece here, and we are going to cut it in 1 1/4 inch strips. So if you think 3 3/4, right, to make them even, we're just going to cut 3 straight strips at 1 1/4. Okay. Anyhow, it's always fun getting together with the group of ladies. And if any of you live local, would love to have you join. They're a wonderful group. One of the gals brought everybody a Valentine, which I thought was super fun. And we had like some breakfast items. So it was just a lot of fun. Really neat. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take these 3 strips, these 3 1 1/4 inch strips that we just did. Oh, looks like I need to change my blade here. And we are just going to put these down one on each end, and then there'll be room for one in the middle. Okay, so we're just going to make sure that we understand where our margins are all the way around, and then we're going to go ahead and adhere it. So I'm going to grab some glue here. I'm trying to get through, I have a lot of little empty bottles here, or, you know, almost empty, so I'd like to try to get rid of them if I can. So let's see, so again, when I put this over, I'm going to give myself a border in each direction here. Okay, so that it's the same at the top, oops, kind of the bottom and the side. And it's going to be a pretty small margin. Then the next piece I want to do, I'm going to put on the end over here. Let me show this to you guys, because I don't know if you can tell, but see how it's got like little fuzzies? I need to change my blade, or I didn't push down hard enough. So like, you know, you have to push it and then get a nice cut. And sometimes I just run it along the edge, and I get a little bit of those frayed pieces. So I will have to do a little changing of the blade there. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to adhere this one kind of the same way, giving myself a small margin to match the margin over here. So I get a nice even look. Do them on both sides like that. There you go. Then when I put this one in the middle, I can make sure that it's nice and even on both sides. If I were to do them right in a row, I might end up with more white space over here than I want. So if you always do your end pieces and then work your way in, sometimes it makes it a little bit easier to line up. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and do this. All right, here we go. This paper is so pretty. All right, so there we go. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to burnish this just a bit to make it so it's a little more flat. And then we are going to put this right on the front of our card. So we'll do that now, and then we're going to work on doing some stamping on the front. So let me show you guys this too, as I just flipped that over. Can you see how my score line, I was like slightly off there? Just, it's so small. But if you ever have that happen, and I used to try to cut it off so that it would all be the same. Now, if you just flip it over, no one knows. No one will even know that it was that way. So just a little reminder there. Okay, make sure I have this going the right direction. And this is going to be 1 1/4 inches all the way around. There we go. And now we are going to bring over some white, and I went ahead and just trimmed, did a die cut of a rectangle piece that's like a stitched rectangle, and this is 1 3/4 by 1 1/4. So 1 3/4 by 1 1/4. So it's pretty small. And then we are going to take another piece of our gorgeous grape here, and we're going to go ahead and trim that. So this was 1 3/4 by 1 1/4. So we're just going to cut a piece that is 2 inches by 1 1/2. Nope. Sorry, that was not right. I did not do that right. So let me do that again. Sorry about that. So this is 1.5. Sorry. So 1.5 by, oh, okay, by 2 3/4. Okay, 1.5 by 2 3/4. All right, so let's do 3 inches. There we go. And if we look at that, we'll see, and so I just need to take a 1/4 inch off this little guy here. And I think that will give me what we want. Math gymnastics here. Whew. All right, so that's gonna give us our right piece. Okay, so now we're gonna take our, I was gonna do this too. Let me, we'll come back to that piece. So let's go ahead and do some stamping on here. We're not doing a bunch of stamping, but we're going to use this Softly Sophisticated, and we are going to be using Garden Green and I think Gorgeous Grape, but I brought in Highland Heather too, just in case. So we're going to use these 2 colors here. And I'm going to tell you, I like this glass mat from this perspective. But if you do some stamping off, like off to the side, we're going to be able to wipe that right up off of our table here. So let me grab one of our blocks here. There we go. And we're going to put this in the Garden Green. And we're just going to stamp that right in the middle there. There we go. And oops, I think it's over there. Okay, now we're going to come in and we're going to get our flowers that we're going to use for this one. And I think these are the flowers that go with it. So we're just going to lay it out here and make sure we know exactly where those are going to kind of line up on our stamp here. And I'll tell you guys, I did not do this before. Here we go. I don't know. We'll have to. Let me see if I can figure this one out. I've used the other stamp, but I thought, oh, we'll do this one. I probably should have made sure I could do it right first. There we go. I think that might work. All right, so we're gonna, you know what I might do is do, let's see, before I do that. You know what? I think that might do right like that. Okay, so we're gonna put that in our purple here, and then we're just gonna lay it right over top. Oops, get a little bit more. There we go. And we're gonna lay it right in top of those little buds there. Yeah, there we go. So I don't know if you guys can tell. Sorry, so these the little round pieces of this one fit right inside each one of these little they look like little cups, and they line up right there, and it looks like that worked well. All right, so we are going to go ahead and put this right on here. I probably should have checked that. So we're I feel like we're winging it a little bit here. All right. Anyhow, I do like this, this glass mat. I think it is awesome. I'm going to do a video on it pretty soon with just all the things that I have learned from watching other videos and read and through Stampin' Up. And I think it's just a really neat tool. All right, so then we're going to put this on here, but we're going to add some twine, and then we're going to add a little strip for our our sentiment. So we're just going to use linen thread to wrap around it. And then we will pop this up on some dimensionals here. All right. So if we just take this and wrap it around a couple times, and then we will tie this into a little knot and then a bow, and that will be our embellishment here for this piece. If any of you guys had a chance to look through the catalog, and oops, this is a little piece that's looks like already been, yeah, I didn't realize this is just a little extra piece here. So I'm gonna just move the bow to the other side where I have a little bit more room there. Yeah, but is there anything you guys find that you really like? We have one more month of celebration. So one more month of free stuff, which is awesome. Always such a great time. It is when, it's when I signed up to be a demonstrator because I needed some fresh ink. And I thought, okay, this is the time. And I did not in any way, shape, or form plan to sell it or, you know, like be a demonstrator or anything, even make videos, nothing. I mean, my plan was I was just going to buy it, and that was that. And I ended up enjoying the discount, and that's kind of went from there, I guess. But yeah, it's always a good deal. I will just say that, whether you choose to do something with it or not. All right, so there we go. Let me grab some dimensionals, and we are going to pop those on back. I'm just going to figure out where I want this. I was debating, do I want it up at the top? But I don't think so, because that just doesn't look good. All right, so there we go. So we're going to put this on dimensionals, and then we will add a sentiment, and we'll be done with this card. So how have you guys enjoyed? Did you have nice weather where you were? It was beautiful today here in good old Michigan. It was very nice. It's nice to see the sun. It was lovely, just lovely. All right, so I think I'm gonna do just a very small, and I don't think, let me see, I probably should have done this. I'm kind of doing a little of this on the fly here. We could do hello there right across the top, right? I could do that. That might be nice. This is not the right way to do it, right, guys? Because that might not be good. So let me see if I can do it actually right below. Let's do that. Let's just do a little bit more, making sure that we don't mess it up. All right. So we're going to take and grab hello there, and we're going to stamp it on some white, and then we will put that right below the length of our purple, and we'll see how that looks. All right, so we're just going to tap, tap, tap in there, and put make sure I get that lined up. Yep. Oops. All right, here we go. All right, there we have it. So I will cut this down. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way. And then we will trim this. And remember, the length of this was, I want to say 1 and 3/4. Yep, 1 3/4. That's what we're going to cut this piece of white at 1 and actually we'll cut it at 1 1/2. That might be just, oops, a little bit more. Let's actually do 1 and let's do 1 3/4. Hello. Let's go ahead and cut that at 1 3/4. And then we'll see if it lines up here and it's perfect. And then we will just do right down to the end there. That's great. Great. And then I think what we will do is actually do a piece that is 1 3/4. So it's going to be right up against the edge. And we will do it at 3/4. There we go. So this is going to look, so we'll see if this works, okay? Kind of adding our sentiment on the fly here. So what I'm thinking is we can get it to where there's just a top and a bottom margin. So let's see if we like how that looks. My only concern is it's a little low. It takes away some of our spatial space, but we could also put it over there. I think I kind of like it there maybe, or even up here. I don't like that. What do you guys think? Any thoughts in the comments? No? All right, you know what? I think I'm gonna put it off to the, maybe off to the side like that. So let's glue it together first, and then we'll take a look. All right. Anyhow. So I finally got all of the arrangements made for the weekend in Middlebury, like Delsesson House area, right? Shipshewana area, at Delsesson House Inn. And so I'm gonna get that out there, and I'll be sure to put a link here as well. So that if any of you that watch this channel would be interested, you might really enjoy coming to the event. All right, I am going to put it off to the side. I think I kind of like that. So we'll just adhere it since the other part is already on dimensionals. And we'll just put that right over there on the side. I think I like that. Okay. And we are going to trim up this other side. This is just a little bit longer. And now we will add some rhinestones to this one. And I think that will be it. So put some of those up here. Right, and there we go. So this is the card that I kind of modeled it after. If you look at this one, it has that same 3 window pane, and this bird paper is just gorgeous. But here we just did a sentiment, and then a little piece of silver popped up with a bow. And here we did just another image in our sentiment off to the side. So again, you can do these 3 panels, and this is just 4 inches. Well, it's 3.75. So you'll even have a little left over. And what I did with that extra strip, I didn't put it in this one. That's right. I gave everybody else in their card kit an extra strip and for them to put on the inside of their card. So this one, of course, we will take a piece of white cardstock, which I will do that later. You guys don't need to watch me do that. But I will put a piece of white, and then I'll put a little piece of designer paper in that, either at the bottom or a little flag at the top. But there you have it. That is our card for tonight. So I hope you guys have a great night, a good day tomorrow, and we will look forward to sharing another video with you next week. And I think that's it. So be sure, if you are not already signed up to my newsletter, be sure to sign up. You can go to fourseasonscrafts.com. If you scroll down a bit, you'll see on the right-hand side a place for you to sign up. That's where I communicate all my classes. That's where I'll communicate this weekend retreat. It's going to be at the end of June of this year. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have raffles and different technique classes, but then just lots of time for you to work on your own scrapbooking or card making events. So I think that's it. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later. See you. Bye.